This is 18 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Zach Wheeler.
And I'm Rhea Jha. Thank you for joining us for 18 News at 6. The big story tonight, a historic State of the State address today from New York's first female governor.
Governor Kathy Hochul in Albany addressing the numerous challenges and legislative priorities ahead for the state of New York. We begin tonight with a few important takeaways of the governor's plan for 2022. Let's break them down. Hochul plans to bolster New York's healthcare workforce, focusing on the funding for medical training and bonuses for the pandemic frontline workers.
Hochul also laying out plans to help small businesses, stating she wants to bring back alcohol to go as a permanent option. Elections also on the table. Hochul is planning on expanding absentee voting under a new statewide Voting Rights Act. She wrapped up her address proposing a 2-term limit for statewide elected officials, including the position of governor.
Tonight, 18 News bringing you live team coverage of Governor Hochul's first State of the State address. Our 18 News reporter Sarah Wilson is live in our newsroom with what new proposals are coming to the state's docket. And our 18 News reporter Kevin Gefeller joining us live outside of Chemung County's Hazlitt building with what local lawmakers are saying about the governor's legislative priorities. We begin with Sarah. Good evening.
Good evening, Zach and Rhea. Governor Hochul laid out nearly a dozen points in her first State of the State speech today. Now she's actually hoping she can carry out her ambitious legislative agenda for the upcoming year. Governor Kathy Hochul making history.
I'm well aware of the significance of this moment. The first time in New York's history that a woman has delivered this annual address. But I didn't come here to make history. I came here to make a difference.
Unveiling a bold new agenda for the state.
This agenda is for you. Every single initiative is filtered through the lens of how it'll help you and your families.
From bolstering the state's workforce to bringing back alcohol to go and promising new infrastructure and affordable housing, Governor Hochul says this is a new era for New York. Her agenda also focusing on rebuilding the state's healthcare system and economy amid the pandemic. She wants to grow the healthcare workforce by 20% in the next 5 years. But perhaps her most ambitious goals, 2-year term limits for state officials and tax cuts for New Yorkers.
That means more than 6 million middle-class taxpayers will get more money in their pockets sooner, at a time when inflation is robbing them of any gains in income.
Local leaders supporting those measures, but adding that the governor may not have hit every point.
There were very few proposals that were put out there. There was no talk about income tax relief.
There was some areas that I think she missed on talking about that needed to be addressed, certainly with the rising prices we see at the gas pump and the grocery lines.
But Governor Hochul says her work is only beginning.
We'll share success. We'll find common ground. We'll restore trust in this government because it's been eroded for far too long. And we will fight like hell, not for turf, not for credit, but for New Yorkers.
I spoke to say it is important to remember that the governor's address is just an overview of her agenda, so anything certainly can change in the future in the coming months. For now, live in the newsroom, Sarah Wilson, 18 News. Zach and Rhea, back to you.
Thank you so much for that report. Congressman Lee Zeldin, the Republican frontrunner for the upcoming gubernatorial election, responding to Hochul's address out and criticizing the governor's plan for public safety and violence, saying her focus should be more on the rising crime in New York and less focused on the pandemic and mandates.
Congressman Lee Zeldin was not the only official to react to Hochul's address earlier today. Live outside the Hazlitt building in downtown Elmira, our 18 News reporter Kevin Gefeller spoke with more local officials to get their thoughts. Good evening, Kevin.
Yeah, good evening. Governor Kathy Hochul's speech included a lot of different topics, as you heard from Sarah. And after speaking with local officials, I think the best way to describe their reaction to the whole situation, mixed emotions. Take a look at what they had to say.
May God bless the people of the great state of New York and our nation. Thank you.
Applause as Governor Kathy Hochul concluded her State of the State address. However, some local officials criticized various proposals during the governor's speech.
You know, it's all very vague in general, as the State of the State usually is. Frankly, I thought this was one of the weakest ones I've ever been present at. She seems to be going down the same path of coddling criminals. No mention of bail reform.
Going forward, we will double down on practical, proven law enforcement strategies to combat gun violence.
I mean, look, any illegal gun we can get off the street is great. What I don't want to see is her start enacting rules and laws or forwarding to the legislature things that hurt law-abiding citizens, because then normally what it does is makes it tougher for, the person that pays their taxes and goes to work every day now can't get a pistol permit.
But criticism was also joined by approval on other topics, like 2-term limits for statewide officials and workforce development.
We need to continually pass the baton to new leaders with different perspectives and fresh ideas.
I think it's a great idea. I wish she would have extended it to the legislature as well, the Assembly and the Senate.
But anything that can make it more streamlined to allow our workforce boards to connect with businesses, to get them the training subsidized that they need to either upskill their staff or train new people coming in is going to be crucial. So I was personally very glad to hear that in the governor's remarks today.
Now, County Executive Moss, after one interesting quote I said during our interview, he said aspirations versus results are often very difficult to achieve, and there were certainly many aspirations during Governor Hochul's speech. For now, live in Elmira, Kevin Gefeller, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Kevin and Sarah, for those reports. Many are asking tonight what proposals will the governor quickly be able to move through the state legislature, and what proposals will actually take some tough bargaining.
That's right. I spoke with our political team, and here is the breakdown.
Money for health care, I think that's important because they're stressed out, they're working hard. I thought that was a good move. When they talk about building a new train from one county to the other in New York City, one of the boroughs, that's billions and billions of dollars to do that. And right now, there's not even a path from these two boroughs to even do it. So it's going to take, they said, billions of dollars to do it. I'm not against those type of things, but to me, those are not the priorities that we need right now. I mean, if we're going to spend money, let's spend monies to make us competitive.
I would agree with Tom with the spending on state healthcare workers. I think that this pandemic has shown that we need to invest in our healthcare infrastructure. I think that her $1.2 billion tax cut for middle class New Yorkers is going to help. I think the property tax rebate will help. I think paying for it all is going to be very difficult. But I think some of the things that matter most to New Yorkers right now are getting COVID under control, managing healthcare, and taxes and jobs.
And then, of course, stay with 18 News on air and on live with the very latest on the state of the state. And head to our website, mytwintiers.com, for more details on the policies New York could be seeing in the future and, of course, to see the governor's address.